This podcast contains strong language and discussions about relationships, sex, and love. It may not be suitable for younger listeners. This is the Can't Keep My Mouth Shut podcast, and I am Nick Selena. Hello, it's Nick Selena. Welcome back to an episode. I'm laughing because I know you've already seen the title, so I know why you're listening. Both of you, males and females, I can tell. The title is Nick's 6T tips on giving a mind-blowing blowjob. This comes off the back of my episode I put out not so long ago about blowjobs. And I was just talking about the fact that I feel like we should do more of them and giving like some respect to the blowy, and that for me, it's part and parcel of a normal sex life and it shouldn't be something that happens like once a year. And then I got a fair few DMs saying, okay, Nix, can you do an episode on how to give a great blowjob? And I thought, yep, here for it. I will help you all out. What makes me qualified? I don't have some sort of blowjob medal hanging on my fucking wall. FYI, I wasn't certified A+ for great head. And that's why I'm allowed to do this episode. No, but I do know I'm really fucking good. I had lots of experience. Yeah. You know, I am 35, by the way. When I say stuff like that, don't be like, oh my God, she sleeps around. No. I've had long-term relationships. I've also been single in my 20s. I'm in my mid-30s, and I love blowjobs, but I like them. I'm pretty good. And I know I'm pretty good because I can tell. Even if the guy doesn't say anything, you can just fucking tell. So here are my personal 6 T's. I come up with that myself. Is this like a brand new, mathematical equation to blowjobs? Follow these 6 T's and he will come within minutes. It's my own formula, actually. I'm basically like the modern day Pythagoras. I know. Oh my God. That is fucking ridiculous. I'm the modern day Pythagoras for giving good head. Yes! One at life. Okay. The 6 T's. I'll overbrief them quickly, then we'll dive in. Time, tongue, talk, two balls, temperature, tightness. Okay, let's start with time. For a good head, you need a fast and slow pace, and you need to focus on the speed of going up and down the shaft, right? So this is why time's important. Because if it's too slow, it doesn't do anything. It's the same as if a guy's licking my clit and doing it really slow. Yes, it's lovely and it's sensual, but you're never going to make me come. Never. Too slow. It's the same with giving head. There has to be an element of speed. And if you're doing it fast enough where he's like about to come, don't stop and then go slow again. You just bring the orgasm right back down. Just drop, right? Fucked. So it has to be fast enough but you can, obviously your mouth's gonna hurt, so you can go slow here or there, but when you get into the build up, you can start off with a bit of fast, bit of slow, but the build up has to remain at the same speed, or if not faster, for that ultimate come. If you drop out, it will be like back to square one, and then you're gonna have to start basically the blowy all over again. Also, time, it was relevant to how long you give the blowjob for. I fucking hate it when guys go down on me for like a few minutes and then come up like, done. I'm like, wait, fucking, no, you're not. No, you're not. My ex was a perfect example. Just was like a couple of minutes, all right, done. And then I'll come up and fuck you, put my dick in. So you're all about putting your dick in, basically. You give no fucks about how long it takes for me. You're not done. I want you down there for as long as possible. Thank you. And it's the same with blowjobs. Don't think for like, oh, I just suck his dick for a few minutes and then I'm be all right. Sure, he might be the kind of guy that can't come through blowjobs. I've heard that often, which is fine. I can't come through penetrative sex. So, everyone's wired differently. But if you can, like, it might just take a while. So you've got to be prepared to actually take your time and spend your time there. Don't make it some part and parcel, quick in and out, pre-sexing. Actually, give the blowjob some time and love and attention that it needs. But yeah, time, the fastness, the speed, you've got to keep it up. Don't drop out. It will come much quicker if you keep the fast speed up, I promise. Number 2, your tongue. Never forget to include your tongue when you're sucking. So this is a little trick of mine, and they can't get enough, is when I'm going up and down, I move the tongue around the shaft at the same time. It's a bit mental work because you're going up and down, but the tongue has to be in circular motions at the same time. There's like a dual thing going on. It's like trying to move your left and right hand or right at the same time. Anyway, you get where I'm going. But that extra tongue movement on the inside combined with the up and down speed of your head just sets them on fire. Actually does. So I would do circular motions, or just at least flicking it. So even if you get to the end of you get to the bell end, and you can just run your tongue around it, like on repeat. If you need a break, pull up to the end, hold the shaft really tight, run your tongue around it really fast around the end, and then put your head back on. That just helps. Just tongue. Don't think for one moment, I just open my mouth and it goes in and out and then we're done. No. That extra layer inside with the tongue movement, honestly, it's a winning combo, girls. And if you aren't a big fan of giving head, so your aim of the game is probably to get him come faster because you don't like doing it, slip that tongue right in. It will take practice, but you'll see the difference, I promise you. Get it involved, up and down and the tongue at the same time. Moving on also to 3, which is the 2 balls. Also use your tongue on the balls. Don't forget there's 2 balls, okay? There's 2 balls. And they feel great being licked. They do. So let's not focus all on the dick. You got to include the balls. Usually I like to give head and then even just fondle the balls at the same time. That helps. It's a nice sensory motion for them, like an extra double feeling. But I often, especially if I need a break, I will move on to running my tongue in a circle of 8 around both balls. So just trace an 8 with your tongue. One ball to the other, trace the 8, keep it going. Can be slow, can be fast, but I love it. If you can trace the 8 on the balls and give a hand job at the same time, then that keeps the momentum going with the dick as well. That's even better. That's advanced blowjobs over here, if you can do that. But yeah, I don't usually like to leave the dick and just move straight onto the balls. I think it should always be a combo. So I just give a tight hand job, move the hand up and down the shaft as you circle your tongue in an H shape around both balls. This is going to be quite a short episode, I've just realised. That's because it's just so good and easy to give great head. Moving on to point 4, temperature. Yes, temperature. So I like to do hot and cold, sometimes ice cubes in my mouth as well. Or I will pull out and blow cold air onto the bell end and the shaft, and then I will immediately put it straight back into my mouth for the heat. So it's a complete change of temperature. They love it. Ice cube might be a bit too intense for some, but definitely try the blowing air technique. Just literally, and it also gives you a break. Pull up, blow some air onto the end of the shaft. He'd be like in the bell end. He's like, what's you doing? Feels nice, okay. And just blow it for a little bit and then shove it straight back in. I'm not a guy with a dick, so I can't really judge, but apparently it feels fucking great. And I think it's going from that cold sensation to the deep, warm throat vibe, which of course is emulating a warm pussy, isn't it? That's why the guys like our mouths as well. Let's call a spade a spade. Temperature. I would always include that as well. Ice for extra fun. But ice is quite advanced because you then got to suck the dick and keep the ice in your mouth, and then, of course, move the tongue at the same time as well. So that, or if you can't do that, you can always just rub the ice cube with your hands onto the shaft and then put the whole thing in your mouth. God, this is so too much information, isn't it? But fuck it. Point 5, tightness. My 5th T is tightness. Keep tight lips around the dick. The tighter, the better. I mean, as long as you're not like cutting off fucking blood circulation. But like I said, we are trying to replicate a tight pussy, right? The goal for all men is, it's a really tight pussy. Okay, so mouths can be like tight pussies. Keep your mouth and your lips tight when you go up and down. If it's all loose, it's hard to feel anything. But what I also like to do for that tightness is I also like to keep my hand at the base. And just like for added pressure. So I hold the base and hold it quite tight as my head goes up and down. And keep your mouth tight. So this will help him come faster. I always just apply this rule to like way guys lick me out. Like I don't want a guy who constantly moves his head away. Like when they move the head away or like kiss your thigh for a bit, I'm just like, no. You've built me up and now you fuck me off. Like, stay there, keep the speed, keep the intensity. I want it to get harder and harder, not softer and softer, you know. And so I figured the same would work the other way around, and it does. It really does. My 6th T is talk. So, of course, communication, as always, is key when it comes to sex, but find out what hits the spot. So you can talk beforehand or you can talk throughout. I always get unnerved when a guy's like very silent when I'm sucking him off because I'm like, is this really bad? Or like, am I wasting my time? Or well, what's going on? Sometimes, or often, they are silent because they're just so enthralled in enjoying it, but I'd rather fucking know. So if I'm hitting the spot, tell me, or I'll ask, you know, I'll just talk to each other. Like, is that okay? Is that nice? If he's like, fuck that ice, I hated it. Okay, good. Then you know the temperature's not for him. If he's like, oh my God, love that balls, move back down on my balls, at least you know you can move back down, figure of 8 around the balls again, and he's having a really good time. So talk it should have been number 1, but I put it last because all the other stuff is so much more fun and juicy. So there you have it. Done. My 6 T's. My 6 T tips on giving mind-blowing blowjobs. I know for a fact my DMs are going to be riddled with you lot after this episode. Come forth, men. Tell me whether I'm right or wrong, because honestly, this is my own personal formula. I'm not too proud to say I could be wrong. This is what I've discovered works with my past lovers. But if you're like, God, no, fuck no, I hate it, never go towards the balls, ugh. Or like, I actually get put off when I find it's too fast. It hurts. It feels like friction, or I don't know, whatever it is, come at me, let me know. But yes, this is my foolproof tips on how I give mind-blowing blowjobs. And so far, I've had nothing but compliments. Yes. And with that, I shall end this blowy episode. Looking forward to hearing from you all, because I fucking will. I know what you like, you lot. Love ya. Don't stop. And yes, if you want any more deep dives into sexual stuff like this, because this is probably one of the first real deep dives I've done in techniques as well, do let me know, and we can venture down that path together. And with that is the end of this episode. Thank you for tuning in, and I can't wait to see you all next week. Thanks for listening to the Can't Keep My Mouth Shut podcast. Produced and hosted by me, Nick Selena, and recorded in the Splicecast Studios in Singapore. I'm available to listen to on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google, and all major podcast listening apps. Do subscribe to enjoy a new episode every Monday evening. Please do give me a 5-star review. It helps other people also find my podcast. For more content and features to read, you can check out my website, nixalina.com. That's nixalina.com. I'm also on social media. Simply search @Nixalina, Nixalina, to find me. Don't be shy. Come say hi.